All right, everybody, find that chat box. Let me know that you can hear me still. I am still here. Yep. Okay, perfect. As I said at the very top of the hour, and I think I've repeated myself at least over a dozen times, there could be issues today. Okay, just so you know, there are issues today with connection. So if I drop off, it was not intentional at all. If you can't hear or see, that means the connection dropped, and or there's a program problem here that's happening. So just know that that could happen. All right, you guys can hear? Can you? Okay, there we are. All right, if you want a copy of today's slides, I would grab those right away just because there have been issues today with all of this connection. So do grab that. And again, we'll send you the recording this afternoon just in case we have another restart that happens. So it's been a lot of crashes happening today. Yep. Yes, Zoom has had a lot of issues, and whatever update Zoom did, Joanne, you're spot on. Whatever they did is not making my computer happy. So I have to remove it, but I didn't have enough time to, well, let's put it this way. I've been removing it since 7 o'clock this morning and it's still giving me problems. So let's keep our fingers crossed, everybody. Let's go ahead and jump in. All right. Because I do want to get as much, your time is so valuable. You do not need to hear this. You need to be able to take this so you can apply it to your business. So I'll showcase how you can use your Google business profile. And for those of you that are first time here, this is not the way it always goes. Everybody who has been here before, assure them this is not a normal thing. So list your products, please. List your products on Google. We'll talk about that. Set yourself up for success. And then I always end with a free recap of resources that you have available to you. Now, I am going to go back to the slide here that does talk about your Google partners, because if you cannot find out how to do something or you have questions, these are who you reach out to. Okay, so Google partners, please do drop your contact information and the areas you serve in the chat. So let me know in the chat box, are you a brick and mortar or an e-commerce store? Let me know that. I would love to know, to kind of customize what we're doing in here as much as Zoom will let me, right? Joanne, I'm so glad that you know that. I was a little worried that it was just me. I thought maybe I did something at first, but thank you for the confirmation. Are you a bricks and mortar or e-commerce store? Which one are you? All right. Perfect. We've got e-commerce online. We have a brick and mortar, brick and mortar. Are you both? There's some that are both. There we go. Both, but mainly online. Got it. But we use Zoom for mediations as well as dispute. Perfect. Oh, Michaela, I hope Zoom doesn't give you issues today. I'm just going to send you good energy. Brick and mortar, both, mainly online. Understood. Got it, everybody. Thank you so much for sharing that and finding that in the chat box. Thank you, Mercy. All right, so I want you to now list three things, because this is a moment really as we go through the session to work on your business instead of in your business, right? You've heard that before. This is for you. If you want to share it in the chat box, you can feel free to. Service providers are still wonderful, Miguel. Definitely a business because you're doing business at your customer's location often, right? That's what we see a lot of times with service providers, because that's where the actual area is they need to fix or work on. List three things that you want your customers or consumers to know about your business. This is important for us because as business owners or service providers, we do see that we know this much about our business, but distilling it down to this much is what the challenge is. And that's all the attention span that we have when we meet somebody. They've got 12,000 messages that they are inundated with every day going through their head, and they're trying to figure out what it is that you do while also remembering that did they call so-and-so, and when do they need to go pick up this? So they've got a lot on their mind. We have to be laser focused to be able to connect with what it is that matters most to them, but then also what is our superpower. So we need to know our niche. That's what we're amazing at doing, and being able to communicate that so briefly and so clearly, not creatively. Clearly is more important than creatively. And then also who our target audience is, who's the best customer that we serve. Because if we do not focus our messaging that way and we talk to anybody, everybody, and somebody, we'll get their second cousin, nobody, because it's too much and people don't connect with that. There's too many messages out there. They can just scroll on down and go on to somebody else who already has figured out how to connect and speak in terms that matter most to their customers. So one of the ways we can do this is using the Google tool, Google Business Profile. Let me know with a show of ones, how many of you have a business profile? Let me know. I'd love to know, because we can see in this case study with Woodward Throwbacks that they are getting a number of visits. So they are actually a brick and mortar, but they get lots of visits and online visits. So they do have both, but they do get a lot of visits from their Google Business Profile. All right. Perfect. I see I do. Perfect, Mercy. Thank you. You can let me know that by saying yes, one, either way. Perfect. All right. With people, yes, it's a great way to be marketable. Yes, absolutely. I love all these stories. But I understand that too. A lot of people do this, set it and forget it. For those of you who don't know what a Google business profile is, it's a way for you to control your information on Google search and maps about your business. And that is a big thing. And it's 100% free. So if you've got a free personal Gmail or a free Google account, because you don't have to have Gmail, you can get a Google account by going to google.com/accounts. So that's ACCOUNTS, plural, and you can secure a free Google account using your current email and creating a password. And like any other password protected site online, that's how you'll log in. So you can use that for free and you don't have to use Gmail. But for those of you who already have Gmail, you have a Google account, so you don't have to do any extra work. But there you can use your Google business profile. And just like Claire was alluding to, you do need to stay active with it. Let me share with you how to make the best use of your time. Because when you're butcher, baker, and candlestick maker in your business, it's hard to also be chief marketer, chief poster, chief janitor, everything that you need to do. So that's really, really hard. Let's do some really focused, meaningful things that take limited time so you can get back to taking care of your customers, right? So you see here in your business profile, and do know that most of us go on mobile first when we want to know go, do, or buy, 84%. So this is very good looking on mobile, really easy to find on Google Search and Maps. You'll see your name, the number of reviews, because we want third-party validation that you are as amazing as you say you are, and that you do what you say your expertise is. Photos and videos there because we are highly visual. We know that after 2020 and the growth of TikTok, how can we not know that visual is so important? We watch and look at photos and videos, and especially when we see somebody that we know, like, and trust doing business with a business, now we get some of that halo effect, of, hey, we, they know, like, and trust it, and we respect and trust them. So let's go for it. How to phone call, how to connect even with your website, and your location, if you want your location on there. Just so everyone knows, if you are home-based or by appointment only, do not worry, because you don't have to show off your actual address. You can suppress that but still show that you serve the area. So a lot of people believe the myth that they can't be there, but you absolutely can. So you can get found in your city or your area if you have lots of different service areas. We'll talk more about that. And we do an entire presentation on how you can calibrate and optimize your Google business profile. But do know that the superpower of a Google business profile is hyperlocal. So what does that mean to somebody who is in e-commerce and you can serve everybody in the nation or even worldwide? Well, that means we need to use the tool for what it's meant for. We need to stay hyper-local focused, which means within 100 miles of wherever you want to put this cluster. It could be around you, where you're actually located. Or let's say I'm 400 miles to the west of Dallas, so I could be saying Dallas is where I do business, and I want to stay within 100 miles of Dallas because that's where most of my customers come. But I'm going to stay hyper-local focused, and this is why. It's because I know that it takes 60 5-star reviews in order to compete on the national stage. If you don't have 60 5-star reviews, then part of your strategy needs to be, I need to get and ask for reviews, and I need to be very proactive about it. For e-commerce stores, you need a minimum of 120 5-star reviews, 120 to compete nationally or even internationally. And that's a very at the bottom rung. That's the basic just to enter the competition. That doesn't mean you win it. So this is why this is important, and why I encourage people actually to stay focused on their local area, because before you started your business, you have other roles, and you may already still have other roles. Maybe you're a volunteer, PTA, you're a soccer mom or dad. Maybe you volunteer at church or with the Kiwanis, or maybe you went to school with people. And even though you may have a different role, you still are that same person bringing the same motivation, work ethic, and the personality and the demeanor that you have. And people will write reviews for you if you ask them, even if they've not done business with you, but they know you as a person. So that's what's really cool about keeping it very local, because you can get to that 60 pretty quickly. When you think of all the people you interact with, try even to think about the people who do business with you. So think about the fact that you are somebody else's best customer, right? So if you go out of business, it'll make them sad if you can't pay for their services and do business with them. So connect with them because they may also be in contact with who could be a best customer for you. And they're truly vested in your success because they don't want you to fail. They want you to continue doing business with them. I did this with my mailing center. I did this with my dry cleaner because I go out and speak in person. A lot of times I need my dry cleaning done. And so because of that, they don't want me to stop. They want me to make money. So they are sharing me crazy, like out there referring me and recommending me. Are you doing that as well? And they could also leave you good reviews. You can keep your profile current, just like Claire was mentioning. We don't want it to stay stagnant because understand, just like in social media, the last time you posted is the last time people think you were in business. And these days, as volatile as the market is, if they don't see you post for a month, you were just in business a month ago. You are not at the cutting edge. And it doesn't matter how much money we have or how little money we have, we still want to work with the best, somebody who's on up to speed and up to date in their industry. So you can see once you've claimed and verified your profile, you can now control it because you verified you're the owner. Yes, you can have multiple businesses on one Gmail account. Absolutely. What should we do if we are home based? Yes, you don't have to put your address out there. If you're home based, you just say, I serve my customers at their location because you do. You bring them product, they come over and pick up product, or maybe you do skincare classes, training, or you meet them at coffee shops, you are home, you do home parties, whatever you do with your home based business. Maybe you consult with them and you consult with them away at an office or a shared workstation or workplace. You're bringing it to them. So you can suppress your address. You just need to let Google know, say, yes, I serve them at their location. And you don't need to tell Google the address to publish. You will, and you may need to tell it to be able to verify you're the business owner because we don't want somebody who has created a company or a face of a company out in another country who's trying to act like they're trying to gather information to do that. So they do want to verify that you're a business, and they could do that by address. They can also do it by phone number. It really depends on how long your business and your website have been in existence, okay? So you can manage all of these things, reviews, messages. I mean, think of that. You could post photos and control what's showing up in Google search maps and images. That is so cool. Now, with your business information, here's what you need to know. Industry speak does not come across to anybody. We know this. We've all listened to friends, family members, spouses that talk in industry speak, and you're thinking, what does this mean with me? Well, it's the same with us. You've got 750 characters there, so those are letters, spaces, grammatical marks that you can describe what your business is. You need to describe it in the words that matter most to people and what they search with. Well, how do you know that? Talking to your customer, asking them. If you don't want to do that, I encourage you to do that because it's important to stay in relationship with your customers because you can continue to not only grow the relationship with them, but they could introduce you to the people that they also influence. They may have a really big circle of influence. So, and you can benefit from that. But if you don't want to, or you haven't, and you don't have any customers yet, if you have reviews, you can go look and read your reviews because in their own words, they're telling you what matters most. And if you don't have reviews, go read your competitors' reviews because that competitive research is so valuable. If you read that there, you'll find out in their own words because people share in reviews what matters most to them, what made the most difference to them. You may also see a gap that gives you an opportunity to serve those customers and get them from the competitor looking over at you, okay? So do you mean the last time you posted using Google tools? No, the last time you posted using social media even. So any public facing content that people can find, especially socials, because remember, a lot of people think it's just media, but social is first, that engagement, that interaction, the fact that you are coming across as a real person and not just some sort of bot. They want to know that. And the last time you posted in any socials and even on Google or YouTube. So if you are using those tools, the last time you posted is the last time you were seen in business. Okay. So do know that people look at that quickly and they make that decision quickly, and you get to own that as part of your reputation. And that may not be true. So there's no need to be everywhere. There's no need for it. Pick one or two socials that work for you. Utilize Google because not everybody's on social, right? 96% of people search on social. Even people who are Gen Z who are searching on TikTok and discovering products and tools there when they're ready to get closer to doing something and doing business with somebody, will go to Google and look at reviews and testimonials, and will even look to YouTube and understand YouTube is a part of Google. So its search algorithm works pretty much the same. You can control also your different attributes you put on Google search and maps here within your Google business profile. I work with a lot of military spouses and people who are active duty transitioning to their own business, or veterans, and to understand, I know they look for that veteran owned all the time when they're pretty proud to look for that, because they do want to have a common frame of reference with whoever they're doing business with. You can edit that within your profile again once you have owned and claimed and verified that you are the business owner. So you can also see and put when you're open. When are you open? Now, if you're a website, it may be 24/7, but when can they reach you to get some support? It might be from 10 to 2. It might be just from 2 to 3. It could be 24 hours, but you'll always do that by messaging. So again, you can let them know. The easier you make it for people to do business with us, the better. And that's our job. We need to make it easy for them to buy from us. So when you set up your hours, again, you're going to go into profile, click those hours, and make those changes. If you have specific hours, like maybe you have curbside delivery, maybe there's a specific happy hour, senior hours, or maybe you have specific holiday hours, right? We're coming up on Labor Day really, really quick. Have you changed that so people aren't driving up thinking you're open on Labor Day and now you're closed? Or they're looking for you, if you're not a brick and mortar, they're looking for you and they're trying to connect with you, and now they're frustrated with you. They're not frustrated with Google, they're frustrated with you, because what was said in Google Maps is that you're open, and now they can't reach out to you and connect with you, be it again if you're online or an in-person brick and mortar. So whatever you can do that makes your business unique, do that. Now, one of the fun things, this is a little insider tip here, that I like to do with my business hours. I actually, because especially when I'm working with retailers who are like in a strip mall or where there's several businesses all together, I'll tell them, differentiate yourself by saying you open at, if you open at 10, everybody opens at 10 around that time for that certain area. Say that you open at 10:02. And if they all close at 6, you close at 6:04, because those differentiators will put you to the top of being unique just because it stands out. Now, don't do that if it's not true, because more important than gaming the system is being able to put helpful user content out there. And Google's pretty savvy, because it is using AI in the background to double check things, that if you're doing something just because it's funky and to stand out, but it's not really helpful to people and it's confusing, it's going to pick that up right away, because it gets the feedback from people's interaction of what they're doing with the information they find about you. So people are looking for those good deals. They're looking for those discounts, those promotions, how they can get a little bit extra just because they connected with you. So if they decide to follow you and take a look at your profile, then do keep them updated. Are you sharing your offers there, your latest events? Even this webinar that I'm doing today, I could put that on Google and put it on my business profile, and it would be active until today, until the actual session started. And then know that you can also do that. I was working with a business yesterday, and they aren't going to open their business for another 6 months. They're a they're getting ready to open a wine tasting area, and I told them, why don't you go ahead and put yourself on Google Search and Maps, because it'll give Google a chance to learn who you are and feel comfortable with you, because we want the search engine to feel confident with us. When it's confident, it puts us higher in search, because it knows that information is important and correct. And that's why it's the #1 search engine, because it does deliver that. So it does like to be confident in the information it pushes up there organically. So also what I explained to them is that 90 days out from them actually opening their location, Google will start pushing that information out. So if you're not even open, you can, you're not even started, you can push that out there, and it will do that for free, which is very cool. You can do posts. So you can say, let's say I've got a new team member coming in, I want to highlight them. Or maybe they've always done business with Dana and Dana's retiring, so you want to highlight Dana's retirement and just how much she's meant to working with your business. Or it could be that you've got new product coming in, or maybe a new brand. Or maybe you have a client you really made happy. You're a home-based business that maybe does accounting and bookkeeping. So you may not have actual photos to share, but you could share something that does showcase what you do. Maybe it's a messy box of receipts or a messy spreadsheet screenshot, and then it shows a really nice profit and loss statement, or a nice, just a relieved business owner. So it could be all of that. It could be that a business gives you a review and they post that picture because, or maybe the person that you did business with does a review, and they post that picture with their smiling faces because you relieved them. And that's part of the benefits that you deliver as a bookkeeper, a service provider. Again, you know your industry better. What are some ways to visually represent it, and how can you update people so they know that you are an active business, and not only that, that you care for your customers and that you stay top of your game? So they are searching for those ideas. They're searching for who does good business. Understand, reviews, especially Google reviews, carry a lot of weight when people are in the decision-making process. So are you and do you have those 60 to 120 minimum 5-star reviews? Now, when you respond to reviews, everybody, just so you know, you are going to get some negative reviews sometimes, but that's what we focus on. Remember the positive reviews. 97% of businesses do not say thank you for a good review. So if you want to stand out and be different, for no cost, say thank you for a good review. By human nature, we focus in on the negative and we try to fix it or figure out who that was. And we just see those beautiful thank yous and we say, oh, we have that nice feeling, but we never say thank you for them or acknowledge them. And that's really important, because if we don't acknowledge someone's comment or content, then how much and how excited would you be if you were talking to somebody and you shared with them a feedback and you actually took the time to do that? Because it's not something people just stop and naturally do. They have to go up there and they have to use their thumbs or be able to take some photos to be able to give you a good review. How much do you feel, or how close to them do you feel are valued if they don't ever respond to you? Okay, so now you are going to get trolls. There's just way too many internet trolls. Never feed the trolls. Don't pay attention to them. I work with some businesses who do at the very least say, you know what, I don't see you on our roster. You weren't on our guest list. Didn't see that you were here, because they just want everybody who's watching. It's not the trolls they care about, but everybody who's lurking and checking out the reviews to know that they did at least listen and they responded. And this may not be a real customer. But you are, if you've been in business for any amount of time, you are going to get a negative review. We just cannot please everybody and anybody, right? So because of that, when you do get a negative review, here's the response. That is not the experience we want for you. I'd like to learn more without jeopardizing your privacy. Would you please contact me here? And you can put your phone number, your link to your contact form, a link to WhatsApp, however you connect, where they can text you, email address, however you want to connect. So 3 things happen when you do that. One is people realize it's an actual person, and a lot of times we are a lot nicer to a person than we are to a bot or a computer or machine. So understand that sometimes de-escalates things. Number 2 is when they do see that, they realize, wow, somebody's listening, and it gives you a chance to take that communication offline. Because the more a review is interacted with, the more popular it is seen by Google, and it's pushed up higher in search. So we want to take them offline as quickly as possible. And number 3 is that sometimes a review is just a request. That complaint, that review, that negative review is just a request in another format. And sometimes when we connect and we learn, they can become our biggest advocates because they felt heard and they felt seen. All right, so we can ask for reviews. This is the big thing. Most people, 89% of people would have left a review had they been asked, but because they got busy with life, they did not do the review, but they intended to, right? And there's lots of intention out there, but we need people to actually leave reviews. So we need to be proactive and do the connecting of dots and ask them for a review. Hey, I wanted to take a moment to give a shout out to our sponsor, Shortform, which is a wonderful tool to help you be able to work smarter, not harder, by being able to take tremendous amount of information and get to the actual gist of it. Really, all of the key points, from blog publications to articles to actual videos in YouTube to books. You have all of that available to you through Shortform, and I've got a free trial available for you utilizing this link. Every week I do the Google update, which every Wednesday the audio format comes out in our free community, and then on Thursdays you get it by email. How I'm able to do that, because I look at 65 to 70 different sources, again, from video to actual articles and publication, is I'm able to utilize Shortform to help summarize and look at exactly what is the key points that would be of most interest to me, and whether or not I should delve in deeper so that I can apply how you can actually apply that as a small business and content creator, making the most use of an update for you. I utilize Shortform. Feel free to use this link for your free trial. If you decide to subscribe also using that link, you'll get 20% off, which is great because for the price of one book, you have access to all of this, and it truly is very focused and complete. It is the best tool that I get to use, and I wanted to share it with you. Thank you again to Shortform for sponsoring many of the audios in this video. Now, when you put your products on Google Business Pro, tried to say that too fast, on your Google Business profile, when you put your products there, what happens are they show up in search and maps. So if I'm looking for a table like this and you don't show it, and you describe it in words, and I have to go to your website to take a look at it, and I'm just scrolling on maps, and I'm not totally invested in you, but I'm totally invested in the fact that I'm looking for this, the photo is going to drive me in, right? So that's what we're looking for. We're very visual, and are you putting that out for your business? If you are service-based, it could be, you know what, people are worried if you have clean shoes, but this happens to be products. So if you're service-based, you might want to package everything together to say, this is our maintenance package. And it could be a package of things showcasing and highlighting some of the different services that they'll get from buying that product package. Again, it could even be services. I work with a lot of people who do glass repair and auto detailing, and they go on the spot. So they'll show a clean car, they'll show what their cleaning tools are, that they're safe to use. They'll even show before and after photos, and that's how they showcase their products. Okay, so all you need to do is, once you've claimed your business profile, you're going to go edit products, you're going to add the name, a category, so Google will know how to showcase it, and people will know when they're searching that this is aligned with what they're looking for. Photo, you can put price, you can even put a price range, so you don't have to be specific if there's a range of prices depending on what the customer exactly needs, and then also a description, and then also a button to your website if you'd like to. Again, if you put that button to your website, do take them to the page that actually product or service exists, so they don't have to go searching for all that. Because if they have to go searching through your website, there's a chance where you can actually lose them, and they're a little bit upset because they have to go look for it too, because you're making them work for it when you're supposed to be trying to earn their business, right? So another way, that's one way you can list your products on Google Search and Maps, but another way is through Google Merchant Center. Now, this happens to be focused if you're an e-commerce store, right? So if you are utilizing, and you're e-commerce and you don't utilize Google Merchant Center, you really need to, because it's 100% free. A lot of people feel that this is just Google ads, Google shopping ads, and that's a part of it, but there's so much free there, and I am all about free or small fee. We've got to max that out before we pay for anything. So definitely use the free components here. So if you have an e-commerce store, you sell online, make sure that your products are appearing not just in Google search results. That's what Google Merchant Center helps with. Even though if you look there at that screenshot of that laptop, you see on the very right how prominent a Google business profile is, especially when they're searching for your product, service, or solution. But now you also, when you're using Google Merchant Center for free, you can be in Google Shopping tab. So Shopping tab is price comparison on Google. So a lot of people may decide, you know what, I want to look for who has the specific brand because I'm just in love with this brand, and I want to stay between a certain price point, $40 to $100, and I want to make sure it's new. I'm not interested in any used items, but I also want to make sure that it's the certain brand. So I do connect and post the brand in there. Now, Google will distill down to their exact wants and be able to showcase here in Google Shopping what they're looking for. Now, how do you show up here? You've got to put your stuff on there for free. You can put your stuff on there. If you don't put your stuff on there, then they will not see you. And if they don't know you exist, they cannot do business with you. And that's just the simple fact. People go to their phone first. They're not driving around. They don't go even to lots, to automobile lots to look at cars or anything first. They're doing that online first. That's their first stop. It is the new location, location, location. And if they can't find you, do they really know you exist? So this is one way you can show up when they're looking for things. Another way is in Google Images. Remember what I said about us all being visual people? That is inherent in humans. And now we see that even heightened, as I said, in the last 4 years. So are you showing up in images there? Can they see that you really have good quality? Have you put your product there? Have you put information about your product as well? Okay. So this actually denotes to them, you see the little icon there that looks like a little sale tag, lets them know that it's for sale. So it's not just an image that they might want to copy and paste and use on their website, which a lot of people are doing, that copy and paste thievery. No, no, no. This is that it shows them that they can actually purchase this, because you put that up as an actual product. It can show up for free in Google Shopping. And then when you put it in images, that little price icon shows up there, that little tag icon, letting them know that this is for sale. So how Merchant Center works is you'll create an account. Again, if you've got a Google account, you're golden. You just need to connect with g.co/merchant center. You see that at the bottom left-hand corner. You're going to upload those products up there, and then you're going to show your products across Google. All right, you control this. So understand there are some guidelines though to Google Merchant Center, whether you use just only the free or the free and the shopping ads, so the paid version. Number one is you have to know that your products have to be available for direct purchase. Okay, so if they can't buy it from you directly, you cannot use Google Merchant Center. You have to have a secure process. All right, we don't want anybody's financial information out there, their credit cards. So Google is making sure that you have a secure processing. And if you see here at the very top of that graphic, you'll see in a blue circle there, in that big old long URL, you'll see HTTPS. That means that site is secure, and you can put important information there. When there is no S, then the site is not secure and people run away. Run away from it, from yourself, to be able to protect your information and identity. But most of your customers will know that that is not secure. Google knows it as well, and it penalizes you for that in search. So it doesn't matter how amazing your product is, your information, or how well you bought an amazing SEO company or person to help you. That doesn't matter, because if it's not secure, there's nothing in the world you can do to show up high in Google search, because Google sees that as a danger, not helpful to people who are searching. And you have to have a return policy, and it has to be public facing so that Google can quickly see that and confirm that, and then be able to showcase your products in all these free areas. All right. So the free areas again are within, let me go back here, images, within the shopping tab, and then of course Google search. Why would you want to show up in images? Well, Google Lens has been on all phones for a while, and you can also get it in the App Store for iOS. For those on an iPhone, you can get it within the Google Play Store, but many phones already have that in because it's been around for 7 years. And people search by images. What that means is, let's say I'm at a festival or someplace, I see a product, maybe I'm at a baby shower like I did with my sister. And so I take a picture of it, and now I want to see who has it, because it'll do that visual search now, that photo search. It will bring up who has it, and it'll bring it up here, whether or not I can shop from them. And then I can go into there and see how I want to focus on. Maybe I only want to look at these ones that are only less than $40, okay, or $40 at the most. So it could be that I do that, but I could find that on Google Lens if you are there. If you aren't there, again, if you don't exist, how can I do business with you? Okay, so this is really important because I see a lot of people utilizing Google Lens. I was working with a photographer in Dallas, and that photographer in Dallas had a nursery. So it was a baby birth book that she did, and it cost about $3,000. So it was not a regular baby book or your normal just baby shower product. So she thought there was no reason to put the photo online. But I told her, how do people know then that they can even consider that? Are you pre-qualifying them and saying, oh, you can't do business with me, so you're dismissing them, when you don't know what resources that they have or what they're looking for? At least give them the option. So then she posted it there to be able to see that it could be anywhere from $300 to $3,000, depending on what you actually chose. But at least she was now visible, so people could do business with her. So how can you set yourself up for success? Well, get ready for shoppers. Know your numbers. Are people clicking to your website and they're looking at information, and what are they looking for? Do they come to your website? Do they go off to socials after they left your website looking for social credibility? So they're looking for comments to know exactly whether or not you're a real business. Do people that are like them do business with you? So that's what they look for. Or are they going off to go see competitors? So they went to the 3 competitor sites after they left yours. You can actually track that with Google Analytics. Also a 100% free tool. And when you're making better business decisions, you need to know buyer behavior. It is on us. All of that heavy weight is on us to be experts on our customer. We need to do that heavy lifting. We cannot require them to do that. So we need to know about their journey and information that they need to be able to help make decisions. Make the payment process simple then, okay? I was working with somebody who had a dog product. Some of you who've been in a session with me before know this, that he actually has a dog product that any dog owner can utilize. But in this case, his best customer were women 25 to 40 years old who had two small children, who was college educated and was also a professional. So they were somewhere working full time, right? That was his best customer. He realized that if he could just get hundreds of those, he didn't need to serve everybody else. He could, that was all gravy, but he also knew that if his messaging wasn't aligned with them, then he would miss them. So he didn't want to miss them since they were his bread and butter. He did know also by looking at his analytics that the time that they shopped was 2:20 in the morning. 2:20. He made sure all of his posts and his ads never showed up till 2 o'clock in the morning, not because he couldn't serve everybody, anybody, and somebody, but he didn't want to miss that best customer. He also knew because it was 2:20 in the morning, people do not want to get out of bed when they're laying there looking at their phone to go get their credit card. So he didn't just want to give them add to cart and then check out with credit card. He gave them Shop Pay, PayPal, Google Pay, Meta Pay, Amazon Pay, Apple Pay, because all of that financial information is already there. They just have to push a button. They don't even have to memorize or go look for their credit card, making it easy peasy to buy from. He also remembered to think mobile first. This is really important because mobile's where we're at. So have you looked at your site on mobile? Have you seen how fast it loads on mobile? That's also important. All right, I covered a bunch here today. One of the ones that I spent the most time in is creating or claiming your business profile. Why did I do that? Okay, when there's so many other Google tools out there. The reason I did that is because one, you know that we've talked about AI search, right? Artificial intelligence search. All the search engines are being powered by that, and really at a small amount right now. It's going to increase. That's not going away because it is truly a major shift in the way we search. I told you about Google Images. Do you know that Google and Google Lens, there are over 12 billion searches every month? 12 billion every month in Google Lens. People are snapping photos and searching that way. So understand that Google Business Profile is a way for you to control your information. AI search leans heavily into the information it finds in your profile, as well as the questions and answers and reviews that you've gotten. That's why it's such an important piece of what you're doing. And I see so many people leave that on the table. Do you know that 66% of small businesses don't have a Google Business Profile? And of those who do, only 29% actively post there. They set it and forget it, not realizing what an important part it is to what they do and being able to be found. Again, if people don't know you exist, how can they do business with you, right? Yes. So Google Analytics, GA4, Google Analytics is GA4. That's the latest version. And that actually lets you know how people consume information on your site. And you need to know that because let's say, for example, you are a brick and mortar store, right? And people came in all day. They went from aisle 1 to aisle 3 all morning long, and they just left. 1, 3, nobody buy. They were just a bunch of looky-loos, right? But then the afternoon hits, and they go from aisle 1 to aisle 4 to aisle 3, and now they buy. I've got questions now. Is it the afternoon person? What's on aisle 4 that is encouraging them to buy? What's on aisle 1 that may cause them to question? Is there something on aisle 3 that sends them out the door? I want to know that. Now think of that in your website. All morning long, they go from page 1, your home page, to page 3, and they leave. 1, 3, leave. 1, 3. But in the afternoon, they go to page 1, page 4, and page 3. Where do they go? Do they go to your competitors? Do you know that? Do you know which competitors that they go to? You do need to know that. If you're the expert in your business, you need to know that. And if you know your customers inside and out, you need to know what information that they're looking for. Are they going out to social to get reviews? What are they doing, right? You just connect. There's no upgrade, Karen, because, excuse me, let me take a quick drink. There's no, so you know there's no upgrade. You just connect so you can migrate to that version. Also, if you have Google Analytics from before, you just go into your Google Analytics and there's a button usually in the top or right over covering everything in red that says you need to migrate this, and then it'll walk you through the process. So that's how you can do that, Karen. All right, read and respond to customer reviews. This is low-hanging fruit, everybody. Everybody's looking for that silver bullet, and the silver bullet in marketing is consistency. If you are consistently asking for reviews, responding and saying thank you for good reviews, and then saying, really saying in your thank yous, let me give you that real tip real quick. In your thank yous, think about what you want to be known for and use those words in your thank yous. So not only do you want to say thank you for making my day and coming here, or thank you, it was wonderful to serve you. Now, remember the words that people use and seed your reviews with that, or your responses to your reviews, not the reviews itself, but the responses, and say, I always strive hard, or we always strive hard to make sure that you have this available to you. And we want to be known as the best wood makers who take great care of you and provide customer service. We appreciate you showcasing our customer service. You see how in that response, I put those keywords that people are searching for and saying, hey Google, hey Alexa, hey ChatGPT, hey Google Gemini. I responded with those things so that it makes me more searchable. Okay? Use Google Merchant Center to display those products across Google. I want to be everywhere that people need to look in Google, because I know what's good for Google is good for any other search engine too. It helps me be visible. So it's all good practice to showcase and be able to get found fast. And also make the checkout process easier for customers. I cannot tell you how many times I come across websites who are doing a great job taking them from socials to their site, and then they get to their site and it's a hot mess. They've got, you can't find things. They're trying to put a lot of things there. So they actually put a lot of pictures that are not the same size, big square, little square, rectangle. Understand, if it's not symmetric, we feel, and we're wondering if this is a spammy or scammy site, right? We don't have a lot of trust in that. And then if it's hard to check out, you give me the third degree on what I need, and then you also now are asking for my financial information. Every time I have to click in and put information is another time that I'm deciding, is this the best thing? So I'm making that decision all the way around. So what's your action plan, everybody? All right. Now's the time to shout out what your action plan is, because this was a great few moments together, and I wish it was a solid 60 minutes, but it wasn't. Thank you, internet, and whatever program is giving issue to my computer. It could be Zoom. But again, what is your action plan? Because this is most important. This is where you actually make and take what you've learned here and you turn it into something valuable by applying what you learned. It's not just a great factoid that is neat, N-E-T, N-E-A-T to know, not neat, but need, N-E-E-D, and you applied it. So let me know in the chat box. I'd love to hear. Again, if you have any questions, you need any resources, who are local people who can assist you with this. This is your Google partners, everybody. Please reach out to them, because they want to make sure, they're the reason that I'm here. They want to make sure that you know of this information and they can support you all along the process, okay? And then if you ever want to connect with me, I do have a membership. It is paid, so just know that it is. It's one-to-many, but it's where you can ask questions. Now, if you don't ask questions, I can't answer questions. So I try to bring up topics that I know are important, but do know that I do answer questions if you put those there, and I do put walkthroughs through, because sometimes people just want to see it more than they just want to see a text version of the answer to it. So you're welcome to connect with me there as well. And of course, if you want to connect with me on socials, that bit.ly link at the very top, bit.ly/find Maria, actually brings up all my socials. Just choose the one that you're most active in and that you feel comfy with, and I'll connect with you there. I love to be able to celebrate with you when you do apply what you learned, and I love to hear that too. All right? And then, just like I said, ask for reviews. When you've given good product, service, or information, ask for the review. You don't have to leave a review. People don't have to feel, that they're forced to do it, but I'm giving you the option to leave a review if you are so inclined. I'd be truly grateful for it, but you do not have to leave a review. But do ask, okay? So I'm modeling exactly what you just heard me talk and teach on, all right?